Dysfunctional lesbians in space are becoming one of my favorite micro subgenres, if you will. Greetings, royalty. My name is Olivia, and welcome back to not actually my realm, because I'm actually in my mother's office, and that's why you see this ginormous, absolutely stunning rubber tree plant in the back, as well as this different color scheme that's making me kind of orange, but you know what, we're gonna roll with it. So to start off the video, I'm gonna give a short update about HRCYED, and unfortunately I didn't get much read this month. I only read 6 books in the month of September, and only one of them I could count towards HRCYED, because one did have, I would basically say, like, the plot made it very, very apparent that it was autism and neurodivergence, like, representation. But because it wasn't explicit, HRCYED says that if you use a book for the disability prompts, it has to be explicitly stated. That way we're not, like, fan canoning that, like, a character has a certain disability. So even though the whole manga series, at least from what I could figure out in Japan, was made to bring awareness to neurodivergence, it's not explicitly stated, so I couldn't count it. But I did have one novella that I could use for HRCYED prompts, and I will give that update at the end. So, kind of a recap, my September TBR was an absolute disaster. I don't think I've finished a single book in that TBR, and I only started 2 books on it, one of which that I will finish in probably like the next couple of days. So it will be for October. But yeah, very disastrous TBR video. I did not finish much of anything. And on top of that, Libby was being a absolute monstrosity during the month of September, because they were changing stuff, and it was just a bunch of chaos and releasing books that they hadn't released to me in months all at once. It was a lot going on. So with that said, I did not get to the vlog style I was going to try to do for a review, except for the first 5 books, which I did in a vlog format, which inspired my whole type of, like, I was going to vlog for the month, all the books I read. So instead of rambling about that all here, I'll give you a taste of what should have been and discuss the 5 mangas, and then I'll meet you back here so we can talk about the last book I read in September. Greetings, royalty. My name is Olivia, and welcome back to my realm. So today is September 1st, Labor Day. So shout out to all the workers out there, even unemployed, looking for work, because it is tough out there. So today I'm probably going to be continuing this vlog for a while, because I was so sick in August. You can still hear it in my throat right now, but I'm feeling much better. And we are going to do some bookish things this week. So I just wanted to show off first that I have been keeping up with my journaling. Well, one is my 5-year diary, and then the second is my bullet journal from Lila Journals. The first one was from Midori, and both are so amazing. I love the creative aspect and just recording my day, basically. I had this set up at the kitchen counter because currently my office is in absolute disarray. So that is part of one of my projects. I was knocked off my cleaning journey due to being super sick. So right now it makes sense to set up here because I have my chair and everything. And I just, like, at the end of the day, when I'm closing down the house, I basically journal. Well, I start the day with this journal, and then I typically end the day with my diary. I have been mainlining manga. Right now I'm on Tower Dungeon by the creator of Blame, as well as Knights of Sidonia. If you're into manga, you probably know one of those two. But yeah, I have read 3 already, and I'm trying to end the day with 5 manga that I put on my bullet journal list. Hey, Knox. My little hound dog. I did too much moving, so he decided to wake up. You see, you can tell he's sleepy. Look at his eyes. Oh my goodness. Got all these eye boogers and crusties. Ugh. But yeah, I am mainlining manga right now on NetGalley because I have the app, and it's kind of hard to explain, but NetGalley is a website where you get advanced reader copies of books and comics, and now audiobooks as well. And the thing is, some cannot be sent to your Kindle/Kobo because they can be sent, some books can be sent to Kobo and Kindle devices. Audiobooks cannot. They stay in the NetGalley app, and from what I can understand, don't expire, because I have a few that
Technically, their ebooks would have expired by now, but they're still in there. So there's that. Gabby decided to join us now. She has eye boogers too. Everybody has been asleep right now because it is just one of those days getting closer to fall every day. Anyway, getting back on topic, that is the case, right? But comics, from what I've seen, like they only have that protected file, so I can only typically read them in NetGalley. And for whatever reason, like 5 of them are expiring in the next like 10 hours. So I've had to mainline a ton. I've actually found a 5-star, my first 5-star of the month. So I put together a very delusional, very delulu TBR for this month. That was like 25 books, and then I only really talked about 20 because it was getting absurd. But today I will probably finish 5 books. So by the end of the month, 25 may not be insane. Fingers crossed. I have to say, we'll see how it goes. All I know is I'm going to get back to reading. I have Tower Dungeon, and then I have, I think it's Last Samurai Standing left. And then after I finish these 2, I will have finished all the manga I've needed to read so they don't expire. It's 154, so it's going to be about, I'm going to say 3:30 when I finish, because one manga took me much longer to read because I was like really invested. One, it was a 5-star read for me, and I actually started crying during it. Spacewalking with You, that had 2 boys that were neurodivergent / seemed autistic in high school, and it was just a really emotional read. The one I just finished, Senpai, is Otokonoko. That one was like a 3-star. I'm not going to continue it, but you know, it was what it was. It was like 3 queer kids in high school too. Again, I don't know why I had all these high school reads. The first one I finished was Roar. That is also a young adult, but it's going to go to adult, which I describe as like if Skip Beat met the J drama, revenge drama, Burn the House Down. That one was pretty good. Solid. I do want to continue the series. Do I want to pay for the rest of the series? No. So I hope I can get like more of the arcs. But I think that one I would probably continue. Definitely continue Spacewalking with You. Not going to continue Senpai's Otokonoko. Tower Dungeon, don't know yet. Haven't finished. I'm only like 10 pages into it. And then I don't know about Last Samurai Standing. So with all that said, I'm going to stop yapping because I really want to get these done so I could take myself a little nap, even though Nox is currently laying on the blanket. And then get up and get some work done for Kickstarters, and then, you know, go back to the grind. But be thankful that at least we have Labor Day to have our built-in 3-day weekend. And that also means this work week, it's going to be short. So queso, manga, nap time, and then I'm going to work. And then I'm going to go to bed so I can go to work, aka my day job tomorrow. Okay, so I was able to finish 2 more manga, bringing my total to 5 for the day. I decided to start recording while I'm chewing on ice, so ignore that. But Last Samurai Standing was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing ever. I don't know if I want to continue the series, but it has a Netflix like show, and so I'm kind of interested to also read the manga because I always love the battle royale premise, and it's set during the Meiji era in Japan where there's trains, but also people that were samurai like literally 3 years ago. So very interesting historical setting was battle royale. So we'll see if I continue. And then Tower Dungeon was okay too. Like, it wasn't the best thing ever. The main character was his name, Yuva. He's hot, so that makes it a little bit better. But other than that, I don't know. Now, I will say I had a 5-star read today, and nothing was below a 3-star. So it's still a really great day to have read that much in one sitting. And now Abby's up, and all the rest of my pets, even though I feel like I'm about to turn in for the night. So I just wanted to give that little update, and I guess show you some of my pets before I pack it up and get ready for work tomorrow. So really, Abby's the troublemaker here. Up and about, just ready to rumble. Say goodbye to everybody, and we'll be doing more bookish stuff very soon.
So we're back. I hope you enjoyed that little taste. I'm thinking of filming more vlogs and naming it like behind the scenes, kind of like a, you know, play on book scenes and stuff, because this is a bookish lifestyle channel. But I don't know, behind the pages or behind the scenes, it's going to be one of the two, and just doing more of a vlog format, maybe not for book reviews, but we'll see. But anyway, I have stalled enough. What is the last book I read in September? And that would be This World Is Not Yours by Kemi Ashing-Giwa, narrated by Catherine Ho, because I did finish it via Libby as an audiobook. First off, the narrator slash, I never know, like, you know, there's author and authoress, but it's not really used. I don't know if there's like a female form of narrator or everybody's narrator, so I'm just going to say the narrator. Catherine Ho did a phenomenal job. She had to narrate a decent amount of characters for a novella, and she made them all sound very distinct, and I like the voices she used. So just kind of a tidbit on that. Now, I did rate this very queer, very weird space horror 4 stars because, I don't know, dysfunctional lesbians in space are becoming one of my favorite micro subgenres, if you will, and it was really good for what it was. It follows basically a galactic princess, ex-princess called Imamura, who came from this super wealthy family, and her girlfriend turned wife who leave behind everything to start a new life on Bellaforme, a basically exo colony being started by this corporation slash, they kind of make it seem like they're nations, but also that they're run like corporations, if that makes sense. Nations set up in space. It was a little hard to get with that. It did have slight undercurrents of like anti-colonialism, because some of the names really reminded me, like, for example, I think Vin is Vietnamese or like descendants of Vietnamese people. The planet she was born on was kind of like South Asian inspired, and the colony that ran it, if I remember correctly, kind of sounded, it was like New Franca, so it kind of sounded like France, and France colonized Vietnam in like our timeline. So I was kind of getting that vibe, but I may be a little bit off on that. But yeah, it was a very interesting premise. Vin is a like security guard slash top security there, and then Imamura is a biologist or some type of scientist. I can't remember specifically. The author themselves, I believe, is a trained scientist, so some of the techie, crunchy, sciencey parts might not hit for some people, because she does get in the weeds a little bit with that. And they are there with Jesse, who is made out to be, I believe, asexual, so you have some queerness there, but like in this weird kind of toxic poly relationship kinda with Imamura and Vin. Like it's like very weird. But anyway, the big struggle on this planet is that there is a rival colony by another planet slash corporation, and they're beefing with them, and there's this substance called the gray that covers the world and exterminates what it sees as threats. Now, because this is a novella, I really can't go deeper than that. I did enjoy it, but I will admit it was weird. It was very, very crunchy, again, because it was written by a scientist. So some of the more like hard science parts were like kind of going over my head a little bit. The relationship, like the book is made to be a horror, and it does have some really good horror, but the bulk of it really is like toxic relationship drama. There's like a lot of stuff in there that is just like, what? Excuse me, ma'am? And the ending? And there's also like this kind of, I don't know, like biblical vampiric vibe going on too. It's just a lot. And I'm a weird girl who likes weird books, so it worked for me, but it might not work for you given those reasons. I am taking an embarrassingly long time to find some quotes I want to share with y'all in the hopes that you read this weird little book. I really now want to read the author's book, A Splinter in the Sky, because it's a novel length work and they're known for short stories, and I really feel like I'm kind of in the mood for a novel by them. Even though I felt like this novella really worked, it couldn't have gone on much longer without it dragging, I think. Especially because it was told in a kind of weird way. It would be like Vin walks to the gallery, and Imamura gets mad at her. It's like told almost like a screenplay. And so even it's written a little funny too. So, and funny enough, the other Dysfunctional Lesbians in Space book that I read in this new micro genre that I love by Seth Hayden, Volatile Memory, was also written like that, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I don't know what it is about second person and space lesbians, but it kind of just works for me. Now, after searching on my iPhone notes for an embarrassing long time, I realized I actually put the quotes in Storygraph with the intention of reviewing the book very soon. So we're going to go over to that right there so I can tell you these quotes that I really liked. First one that I'm reading in the hopes that you read this strange little book. Oh, how he loves her. She is adorable. Oh, how he wishes he could fit her whole head in his mouth. All right. Body horror is body horroring. And then this other quote. How do you return to a dream you know is nothing but a fantasy? Once you've lived through a nightmare, you've learned to accept. And then finally, it hurts like the truth, but it tastes like a lie. So it had some banger quotes. It was lyrical. It was weird. It was queer. And it was actually disturbing as much as the middle was this mushy, romantic chaos. It was something that I really liked. I really did like it. Now, is it a romance? No. So please, I know I'm known for romance. Do not go into this expecting it to be a romance. Okay, and to wrap this video up, what were some of the prompts that this book fulfilled / novella? Well, This World Is Not Yours was shorter than 199 pages, so it did work for, I'm not sure if you can see it, by the hundreds, which is a prompt where you read books within a certain page length. Now, I did do an audiobook for this, but the print count of it is like 171 pages, so it still works. And the other prompt I chose was like the rainbow-ish prompt, and I picked it as a blue cover because I will pop it up on screen if it's not already on screen, but it is a very blue cover with a very creepy, smiling, person that looks like they're in an astronaut costume. So yeah, it really worked has a very blue cover. So with that said, I want to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are a distinguished guest, look, we are almost to 250 subscribers. That is absolutely insane. So come join us. Come join our royal ranks. Hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 before the end of the year. But you know what? If you like bookish content and lifestyle content, this is the channel for you. Okay, everyone. Until next time, farewell for now. Bye.